From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 11th, 2022. Israel's Foreign Minister Yair Lapid will depart Israel tomorrow, Saturday night, for diplomatic visits to Romania and Slovakia, two countries that border Ukraine, in particular to discuss the Ukraine crisis. Lapid's office said the three-day visit will include meetings with the leaders of both countries, as well as a visit to the Syria border crossing between Romania and Ukraine, where Lapid will meet with foreign ministry personnel who have been working at the crossing for the past 2 weeks to rescue Israelis and Jews from Ukraine and assist refugees crossing the border. Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett addressed the Ministerial Committee on Aliyah and Integration yesterday on Israel's continued absorption of refugees fleeing Ukraine. Bennett told the group, "Today we are starting Operation Returning Home to bring the Jews of Ukraine who are in danger and Jews from the surrounding area. This," he said, "is an important moment, a moment for which we have been destined and for which the State of Israel was established." Bennett stressed this was not just about receiving the refugees, but also helping them cope with their trauma and easing their integration into Israeli society down the road. Bennett said this is a major challenge for us all, both in the government and Israeli society. I have no doubt that Israeli society and the Israeli public can rise to the occasion, and we will do so. Bennett also spoke yesterday with the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, about, his office said, the situation between Russia and Ukraine, as well as efforts to provide humanitarian assistance to Ukrainian citizens. The two agreed to stay in contact on the matter. Meanwhile, Ukraine's ambassador to Israel, Yevgen Kornichuk, called on Israel to do more. Speaking to reporters at his embassy's cultural center in Tel Aviv today, he said Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky did not understand why Israel does not send protective defensive gear to his country, like flak jackets and helmets. The Times of Israel cites Kornichuk saying that Russia has a few airplanes and anti-missile systems in Syria, and you are afraid. Israel has refrained from sending anything that can be considered military aid to Ukraine because of its sensitive situation with Russia, which enables Israel to take action against the Iranian presence and against terror group Hezbollah in Syria. Turning now to some other news, the Anti-Defamation League announced a new resource to track anti-Semitism on social media. The Online Hate Index, or OHI, is an artificial intelligence tool that detects hate-targeting marginalized groups on online platforms. CEO Jonathan Greenblatt said, "For the first time, we are using the combined powers of artificial intelligence and ADL's expertise to uncover anti-Semitic content online at scale. We will use this tool," he said, "to hold those social media platforms accountable for how well they proactively take down hate and how well their content moderators respond to reports." Well, Israel is taking part for the first time in the Winter Paralympics. 20-year-old Shayna Vaspi made history as Israel's first Winter Paralympian as she skied her way down the women's standing giant slalom in alpine skiing in Beijing today, finishing 15th out of 22 competitors. Vaspi, who lost her leg as a child in a car accident, is from a Chabad family in northern Israel. She skis with a skirt over her ski suit. She had to skip a previous slalom race as well as the opening ceremony of the games as they were held on the Sabbath. Vaspi said in a video message today, "I'm very happy and proud to be here and to make history and to represent Israel." Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Friday, March the 11th. Live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 o'clock from New York City's Central Synagogue, followed by Shabbat services from the Hampton Synagogue. At 8:30, it's Pharaoh's Daughter in concert. At 9, it's the film Anita B, based on a true story and the bestseller by Edith Bruck. At 10:30, it's a replay from the Hampton Synagogue, followed by a replay of services from Central Synagogue. And coming up next, a look at this week's Torah Portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, March the 11th, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well, and Shabbat Shalom.